mean this genuinely when I say I was done. I was out. I accepted reality for what it is. I was sad about it, I'm not gonna lie, and I decided to move forward. But the problem is that there was another tweet that was put out after we agreed to not mention each other. I have never put out a video actively conveying my thoughts on this whole ordeal. The one that I did have up, I removed out of sanctity for our friendship. However, with the other video that currently has near 100,000 views, with 13 minutes of blatant misinformation and a absolute ego explosion, and it was never removed, never added an addendum to, I will give a short piece. I'm gonna keep it short, simple. I'm gonna be real. Feel free to scrutinize the hell out of this video. I recommend everybody to. If you'd like to scrutinize this, if you'd like to point out holes in my logic, please do. I'm going to keep this as objective with as many facts as I possibly can provide. There are some things that I cannot legally show on stream. However, all parties involved are aware of everything that I cannot legally show on stream. This goes very deep. I'm going to show and present as much as possible. This is not drama. And I want to make this very clear. This is not drama. I would not have made this video if that video that is 13 minutes of misinformation was ever taken down. However, I feel like we're even at a point to where even the fact that I would have to ask for that being taken down, I find that crazy to me. And I think that's a common thing that Mr. Pokey and I had an issue with which is I feel like things that are common sense just weren't being done. Hey man, can you moderate them from not letting, or from just not letting them say that I've committed crimes that you know I haven't committed? Do you mind doing that? Hey man, can you not post this video? Because you know how it's gonna go, where your community's gonna say this and my community's gonna say this. Maybe we just don't do this. I mean, even this whole ordeal that started, I didn't even know what the fuck was going on. I came into a chat where Mr. Pokey was talking about all this stuff, and I was completely blindsided. I also thought that we had agreed to settle this in DMs that we did in our last conversation, but then we just didn't. And I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about what I'm talking about today. And this tweet was put out about 18 hours ago. And this tweet really disappointed me. It did. And I'm going to read all of this. This is public domain. Everybody can see this. Bittersweet. I can't remember the Twitter user that made this fan art. It's fucking peak. Let me know if you'll find the artist. In any case, I'm going to yap a little bit. And I mean this genuinely. I love this photo. I love this time. This was me and Mr. Pokey in box. And we were in Las Vegas for TwitchCon 2024. I think 2024. It was a great ass time. It was great. They came over to my house afterwards. It was awesome. Jenazad was there too. However, that was pretty much my first real introduction to Jenazad. Yeah, San Diego TwitchCon. It was a great time. I love these two very much. I do. It's great. I was lurking in text last stream listening to what I'm assuming is the final time my name is mentioned, and I had this very bittersweet feeling. Yes, I thought we agreed to not talk about each other. He went live the next morning. He talked about it, so then I went live. I talked about it. That way we do the 1-1 balance. There's this tweet. I say, okay, then I'll do one video addressing this tweet. Then hopefully we're done. We'll see. It is what it is. However, I would like to say this. I think there is, at this point, an actual point of salvation. I think I've been a bad friend. And I think I've pulled back way too much. And I think I just need to be honest. And I'm just going to say a lot of things that I've just never said before. Yeah. He's taken upon it himself to hold back other CCs that want to talk shit and start drama with me, causing him a lot of shit in the background, and nothing of which I'm aware of. While I'm thankful he's trying to divert these CCs from coming at me, I don't see why it matters to any of us since we both know all these CCs are irrelevant. Their existence is meaningless to me. Let them chase their latest drama slop with my name. None of them will come close to the influence that I've shared with Texans before I even quit my full-time job. If they want to farm some views because they need it, I'm all for it. Heck, they are already farming this as we speak because tech stopped holding them back. Yes, this is referring to people like Saint Tontas. No, I don't give a fuck about bro, even if he made 100 vids about me. Hope he's happy with the ad revenue. I will never engage. I hope we can all understand why this is a very dangerous thing to say. And I also want to say how untruthful of a thing this were to say. I think the big problem is that whether you want to admit to it or not, the internet does hurt you. Hurts me. Hurts Saint Tontas. Hurts Shinya, hurts everybody. And I know it hurts Mr. Pokey a lot too. I know it does. And the reason why I know it hurts Mr. Pokey is because we've had those talks off stream. Mr. Pokey and Sintos had to have a call to make an agreement to never talk about each other ever again because it does hurt, right? When you're a person and you're going into my Discord and you're typing in your name to see if anybody's shit-talking you, I know it hurts you. When you get one guy in chat and you post these comments like it's the status quo, I know it hurts. And it's okay to be hurt. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to hear, man, this person who I thought might be able to be friends with, he said something that I didn't like. And that's okay. And I want to make this very clear. I'm not talking to you guys Tectone today. I'm talking to you guys as John. And we're going to talk about a lot of uncomfortable truths today. It is okay to be hurt. It is okay for someone to bother you. It is okay. It's normal. It's called being human. But to say that every CC is irrelevant and their existence is meaningless to me, I know there might be a part of you that says, no, I was joking. I was just quoting low tier God. But you got to understand, there's a lot of truth for this image that I know Mr. Pokey wants to have, which is this Sigma male alpha Chad. Just like every single time I would upload a video of me doing a certain bench press or me doing a certain lift, he would have to go and upload him doing the exact same lift. Just like that one time where I called to pull up a chin up and then he made a video saying, well, actually, it's not a pull up, it's actually a chin up to Fei Xiao. I know this image that you're trying to have. I know this version of yourself you're trying to sell, but it is okay to be hurt. It is absolutely fine. You can't act like none of this shit hurts you when you say, hey, there's this really mean guy in your community. His name's John Seaman. I want you to ban him. Stop letting him say things about me. Hey, there's this guy called Drake's Revenge. I want him out, right? It's all right to be hurt. Everybody gets hurt by this shit. It sucks when people say things about you that you don't think are right. But I mean this genuinely. There's a big difference. And maybe you didn't say Drake's Revenge. You did say John Seaman. Thank you for correcting that information. That's something that I wish you would have done with your chat when you lied about me for 13 minutes in your video. It would be great to fact check that information. And to quote Saint Tontas, maybe you would have done that if there was a sub goal. Now, I want to continue. I think it's very important to acknowledge that when you get to a position where you think that every other person is lying on you for fun and lying on you just because they don't like you or they want to farm drama slop, I think that's very dangerous. And I mean this genuinely. These creators aren't like the creators of the past. They're not these people who are actively trying to hurt you for no reason. There's a lot of people like Ethan or Saint Tontas, I understand he actually has a lot of disdain for you, but it's not like the guy's devoid of reason or Shinya. It's not like the guy hates you by any means. This is another guy that you've met in real life, and I think you had a good time meeting him. I know it might hurt because you think they're wrong, but you seem to be in this position where you want to be a hypocrite and nobody's allowed to call you that because you don't like it. And I say this a lot. It doesn't matter if it hurts your feelings, if it's the truth. And it is the truth. If you, and this isn't about a gotcha game, and this isn't about morality and gotcha, and this is another false equivalency and comprehension issue that I think you struggle with quite a lot, okay? And I want to make this very clear. It seems like almost every time there's an issue that you have, and whether this is the greedy and stupid, the disagreement that you had with Gotcha Smack, the pro-Hoyo, the Hoyo shill comments, whether it's the issues that you've had with Saint Tontas 1, 2, 3 times, whatever issue it is, whether it was the issues you have with Jing Yuan mains, whether it's the issue you had with somebody else, with me now, I think a big issue that you struggle with is false equivalency. And what false equivalency means, for anybody who doesn't know, is taking two actions that are comparable and saying they're the exact same, but they're really leveled very differently. And to give you an example, saying that I pushed you down and I made you scrape your knee, and this other guy who took your whole family and decapitated all of them and set them on fire and then fucked their corpse. Well, they both committed crimes, so they're the same. And I know analogies are something else that you really struggle with. But just because two people both committed a crime, there's a reason why prison statements, they differ. There's a reason why shoplifting gives you 2 weeks in jail, where drug dealing gets you 2 months in jail, and murder gets you 20 years in jail. And that's the problem, is that you think that you being called a hypocrite for saying that Cast versus Global Passive is bad for the game and it's predatory, but you're still pulling for it, is the same level of hypocrisy as merely playing a gotcha game. Now, I'm going to explain to you why that's not true. So, let's begin. Because the problem is that you have people like Toho Sniper, who put out a video today, who has once again bandwagoned off of this morality and gotcha games. Morality and gotcha games. Morality and gotcha games. Okay? Nobody's arguing morality and gotcha games. And this is another false argument that nobody is having. And that's the problem, is how many comments, and I want to make sure that you see this, because this is very important that you see this. We're going to go through your comments, and I want you to truly understand how many people are saying, can't believe all of this is over a gotcha game. Can't believe we're talking about morality in a gotcha game. So we're going to scroll down because I think this is so important. So just in one scroll down of your comments, there's over 4 top comments upvoted to the very top of this video with over 200 upvotes, 93 upvotes, 300 upvotes, all talking about morality of gotcha games. This argument doesn't exist. No one's saying it. No one's arguing it. And I think it is so dangerous, no matter how many times we have said this, this narrative continues to be pushed. Once again, no one cares if you pull Casterus. No one cares. The only thing we care about is, and I'm going to say this again, this exists outside of a video game. If I say, this water's really bad for you, don't drink it, and then I drink it, that has nothing to do with Aquafina. That has nothing to do with Gamer Subs. That has nothing to do with liquid. That has nothing to do with plastic. That has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with this room. This has nothing to do with the world. It's a drink, and this is about principles of a human being. I know, another analogy. This is about who you are. Gotcha games don't matter. Drinking water don't matter. Nothing else matters. This is about principles of oneself. I'm going to say this again because this has gone on for 3 days. This has nothing to do with Caceres. This has nothing to do with global passives. This has nothing to do with Honkai Star Rail. This has nothing to do with gamer subs. This has nothing to do with the tariffs that Trump's putting on America. This is about principles of oneself. If you are comfortable saying, this is bad, this isn't good for the game, but I'm going to do it, that isn't about Honkai Star Rail. In any aspect of life, that makes you a hypocrite. It's not about gacha games. It's not about morality. Now let's talk about why that's so important. For this video, with over 13 minutes titled The Real Hypocrisy, you say that I'm a guy who C6'd Arlecchino, even though I said I wouldn't do it. I messaged you because, guys, what's crazy is, because Mr. Pokey said it with such conviction, because his chat said it en masse, I too believed it. Where I got gaslit into thinking that I did something that I didn't fucking do. I never C6 my Arlecchino. This never happened. There was no hypocrisy there. Brother made me download Genshin Impact, which was insane. Joke's on you, I didn't even download it. I got one of my mods to do it because I ain't doing that shit. And that's what a real gaslight is. And I want to really encourage everybody in Mr. Pokey's chat to understand what that word means. Gaslit. Now, I'm going to show you some definitions. In slang, gaslit means to be manipulated into doubting your own sanity, reality, or memories through subtle or overt tactics, stemming from the 1944 film Gaslight. I hope you don't think that I'm manipulating Google definition. You say that something happened, I get convinced that that thing happened, and then you accept it as the reality, even though that's not what it was. That was an instance of me getting gaslit. I got gaslit so hard, I even admitted to it publicly. It literally came out of my mouth after seeing a close personal friend accuse me of doing something, because once again, he got fed misinformation from anti-Tectone people, aka the Genshin Impact community, and they said it so much that Mr. Pokey checked it without even checking with me first, posted a video of misinformation. I said, why did you say that? He said, it doesn't matter because the point remains. You don't do that to a friend. You don't. You would remove that video if you actually had integrity on what it is that you were saying. And now he says it doesn't matter, and let me explain to you why he said it doesn't matter. Here is the whole truth. Anybody correct me if I'm wrong. I was going to C6 Arlecchino. I pulled one copy. I experienced the story quest. It was terrible. And I said, I don't like the direction of this character. I don't like what Hoyoverse did. I'm not going to C6 Arlecchino because I don't want to tell the company that that's good to do. It was bad presentation for a very hyped character. However, the company fumbled the bag, so I said, no. I am not going to support that anymore. Let's continue. I C6 Nervulette and I C6 Farina. Now, why is that? Farina and Nervulette and Fontaine, and we all know it, was the best Genshin Impact has ever been. Amazing characters, amazing kits, amazing presentation. I said, oh my God, Genshin is saved. I can fucking play it again. I want to support these devs. And I C6 them both. And you want to know what's crazy? I never used them. Barely ever used them. I just did it to hope to incentivize the company that this is what I want. They didn't care. Banners didn't sell well enough. They kept with the status quo. Genshin's back to shit. I stopped playing. Dropped it. Okay, dropped it. Now, let's fast forward. We're moving the goalpost again. C6 and Farina and C6 and Nervulette don't matter. Cantarella. Yeah, Cantarella comes out. Tongue, tacit mark. The first oral fetish character ever released. I saw that and I came immediately. But there's quality of life exploration changes. Tectone, you had an issue with Genshin Impact having quality of life exploration. Cantarella has quality of life exploration. So why did you pull for Cantarella? Well, let me explain to you why. One, her character looks amazing. Two, I wanted to let the developers know, hey, brother, we need more oral characters. We need that. Three, I never said I was skipping Cantarella. I never said she was bad for the fucking game. What I did say was, quality of life exploration isn't good. If this gets worse, this might become a problem. However, it's easily circumventable as long as we get the wings in 1.0 areas. That's a topic for another discussion. However, in my mind, we already have a way to circumvent that issue by using the free-to-play gliders that are faster than P, that are faster than Cantarella, already existing in the game. There is no way to overcome global passives. There is no system to overcome global passives. People say Bailu, you can't use Bailu twice. There is no way to overcome it. And what's even worse is that not only does Castros have a global passive, we have already seen not 2, but 3 leaks saying that there's more to come. That's why there's a whole new UI system saying these where your global passives go. We already know there's more to come. We already know there's more to come. And now let's say everybody says, oh, they're all fake. Oh, they're all fake. Okay, great. My mind is, if you were going to put 1 global passive in, why would you not put more? And 2, why would you design an entire UI to holster more global passives if there weren't more on the way? That's enough to put enough doubt in my mind to where I don't want to pull that. And I don't want to incentivize Honkai Star Rail from going down that rabbit hole even anymore. So, 1, you lied on my name. 2, I told you that you lied on my name. You never corrected it. 3, any friend that would put out that misinformation would remove that video just like I removed the video because I knew it was going to get you hate. Because that is what people do. Just like the last time that happened, I removed everything you asked immediately, even more that you didn't even have to ask for. And I think it is so scary how you were okay with that being up there. 13 minutes of raw misinformation. Because this is the thing, and I really want you to know this. Mr. Pokey, I know how bad you want everybody else to be like you. I know how bad your chat wants to make this false equivalency claim that everybody is a hypocrite. Everything I can do, I can justify. Everything. You give me a single scenario, and there's 2. I can either justify it or I can own up to it. I can admit my mistakes when I do them. It is not hard. But I think it's really scary where there would even have to be a conversation after I personally DM'd you and I said, hey man, this isn't real. I don't know why you would want to keep that up there. I don't know why you wouldn't put out a post to your YouTube community saying, hey, I accidentally spread misinformation on Tectone. I feel awful. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Every single time I have ever caused Mr. Pokey any issues, I have apologized profusely. I have put out so many PR pieces to let my community know that we're good, to let other content creators know that we're good. I tell my mods constantly, do not fuck with this guy. Now, if you don't want to be called a hypocrite, I can't correct that because you can't be a hypocrite and tell nobody to call you a hypocrite, okay? The other word, hoyo shill, That's a gotcha wide community term. I've been called a Hoyo shill. I've been called a Kurobot. I've been called everything. Okay? But I think it's very scary how your community has become so comfortable into calling me someone who commits heinous crimes. And I think that's very scary. The other thing that I, to this day, need you to understand at how gullible and vulnerable your chat is the fact that you have successfully gaslit your community into thinking that these photos are fake. No, you did meet Atsu. You did hang out with Atsu. And you can hang out with whomever you want. But I am just curious, and I would love to know your opinion. Why would you want to hang out with the guy who almost got 2 content creators to commit suicide and attempted to pit everybody in the gotcha space against each other with the title of your post, absolutely cinematic neutrality? Why would you want to hang out with this guy? You can do whatever the fuck you want, but I'm just curious because that makes no sense to me. I never said anything about this because I believe everybody should be able to talk to whoever the fuck they want, right? But yeah, it did kind of suck when I had your back, and chat, correct me if I'm wrong, I had bro's back for every single drama he's ever been a part of. Every single one. Every single one. Even when I knew he was wrong. Because that's my fault. That's my fault. I believe in my friends very seriously. I want to remind you, Mr. Pokia, how many times people came after me for shit you know I didn't do, and you decided to say, I'm neutral. I believe that friends have each other's back. And what's even crazier about those crimes that I've been committed of, or alleged for, I showed you, Box, and Genazad every screenshot that the lawyers have seen to where you know it's all bullshit. And to let that shit fly for as long as it has in your chat, I feel like that's ridiculous. I do. I feel like that's ridiculous. I know my mod Valen has seen them as well. I know my mod JSpec has seen them as well. Sophia's seen them. LaRoe's seen them. Many people have seen them. Now, I want to continue even further on. You can't just say that people are irrelevant because you don't care about them, that these people are irrelevant because they have less viewers than you. Maybe that's not what you meant to say, but that is how it came off. And the reason why I think that is because when I came into your stream the other day and I had no idea what was going on, and I was genuinely concerned because I saw my friend crashing the fuck out on me. And I said, yo, is everything okay? All you said was, yeah, man, shit's great. I got 3,000 viewers and 3,000 subs.
Oh my god, yo, biddies. Yo, Tectone. Yo, looking forward to your stream, man.
Yo.
Looking forward to your stream. I think it's gonna be quite interesting. It's gonna be quite interesting. It's gonna be
And I don't know why you got so excited about how genuinely concerned I was that my friend was upset with me.
quite interesting. Did I ruin your entire life? Nah, man. You saved my life. You see this shit, bro. We have 3,000 subs. Almost 3,000 subs. 3,000 subs, right? So thank you, saved my life. Thank you, Tectone. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, but genuinely,
I hope you understand how much that hurt me as a human being. And I see what you said because they don't have as much impact as you have on me. But I mean this generally. These are people who could potentially be your friend. You don't have to. But just saying that these people are irrelevant, I don't care. A lot of these people, they're not just making up shit to piss you off. They're saying it because, well, it's an important issue. And I think it's important to understand the impact that you have on this space as a whole. I understand and I appreciate how much you care about me. But you have to understand the impact that you have as a whole on this. Let's keep going here. There's been a lot of collateral damage on both parts. I'm glad that he acknowledges actions have inadvertently caused me issues, as do I. And I want to say this. I will never be able to tell you how sorry I am. And I want to say this from the bottom of my heart, and I mean this genuinely. I know it must suck ass hearing me say, man, this game fucking sucks. This shit fucking sucks. That shit fucking sucks. Honkai Star Rail fucking sucks. These chatters fucking suck. And I know when people draw the parallels to, hey, Mr. Pokey said he liked this. Hey, Mr. Pokey also does this. He must be talking about Mr. Pokey. I know that must suck. That even happened today. That even happened today. And let's go look at this reply real quick. Let's go look at this. Sarah, one of my favorite people, one of my favorite mods. I would consider Sarah a friend of mine. They helped me and you out a lot. They help out everybody in the Honkai Star Rail community a lot. They do. They're a great person. They're a great friend. They're a great person to have around. I gave them $500 yesterday because I think it's time that Sarah gets a cut of that pie, gets some recognition. They help everybody else out so much. I wouldn't be able to hold my fucking dick playing Honkai Star Rail if Sarah wasn't helping me. No sexual innuendo implied. It is just an analogy. I need help. All right, there's some new characters. I don't really know how to build them. I don't feel like going on Reddit and doing a quick Google search. Sarah's like, don't worry, boss, I got you. So I gave them $500 yesterday. To get themselves a VTuber model and to encourage them to go live. And they did. They had over 300 viewers the entire time. That's insane. A place that you used to also be. 300 viewers, that's insane. That's crazy, right? They're going to earn $40 playing Honkai Star Rail with a guaranteed payout. And Sarah lives in a place where getting money's pretty fucking tight. So I say, I will always do good to those who have done good to me. Sarah, you deserve this 1,000%. No one has been more helpful and more kind to you than all players of HSR. Hail, Sarah. Now become the #1 zero cycler that you always were behind the scenes. Everything I said was absolutely true. And I apologize that there are people like, let me find it. This guy, I won't ever speak about Pokey again. Also, Tectone, makes shit tons of illusion of it every hour. Is not gonna lie, that's cringe as fuck. I am so sorry that you're gonna have to deal with people forever, where if I talk about zero cycling, he's talking about Mr. Pokey. If he talks bad about Hoyoverse, he's talking bad about Mr. Pokey. If he's talking bad about Honkai Star Rail, he's talking bad about Mr. Pokey. If he's talking bad about Castorus, he's talking bad about Mr. Pokey. Hoyoverse has fucked you, and it has also made you. I think we both agree Honkai Star Rail made your career. There was another factor, but I don't need to talk about it. Honkai Star Rail made you, and you will forever be the Honkai Star Rail guy. And it sucks that Honkai Star Rail is now heading in a bad direction, to where if I shit talk that game, everybody thinks, oh, he's shit talking Mr. Pokey. And that sucks. That really fucking sucks. And that's probably annoying as shit, because I know it probably hurts to even think that your friend is talking bad about you. I don't know what else I can do other than say, hey, that's really not my intention. Now, these days, maybe I'll make a joke at your expense every now and then. I'll be real. Everybody's doing it, but you kind of made yourself the center of attention. You know what I mean? You kind of did. That's just how it goes. And if I make myself the center of the attention, if I make some crazy ass shit like greedy and stupid, if I say some crazy ass shit like I'm the only motherfucker who ever should be praised, when I was the guy who said that Gon uses support before everybody else picked up on that, I ain't gonna say, no harm, no foul if you say Gon uses support, Omega lol, this fucking bald fuck. That's what happens. When you make yourself a meme, you gotta know that you're gonna get memed on. It's gonna happen. It really is. It's gonna happen. And that sucks. But you can't do hypocritical things and not expect to be called a hypocrite. You can't make yourself a meme and not expect to get memed on. So, I want to continue here. The C6 Arlecchino is a poor example, and I apologize. I should have used C6 Cantarella instead, even though the point is exactly the same. The point is not exactly the same, and I already explained why it's not the same. Now, it sucks because I'm really hoping you realize why it's not the same, and this false equivalency is a massive problem. Chat, would you understand why Castorus and Cantarella are not the same levels of issues? Because one of them can be overcome, the other one cannot be overcome. Now, once again, I don't want to use chat as any, look what my chat said. Look what my chat said, dude. Look, they're all right. Because I don't do that. That's my bad. Hopefully we can both agree that when an issue that Wuthering Waves has already has a system in the game to circumvent that issue, and Honkai Star Rail has presented a new issue where there is no fix for, we can see the difference. Hopefully we can see the difference. And I mean this genuinely, no other game has ever done something like this to this degree. Especially, here's the truth, no game with the same level of success has ever done this in history. Honkai Star Rail has made $1.3 billion, and they're going to implement a global passive and a spending event. Yes, sorry, I will be taking my money elsewhere. Okay? There's a very huge difference. No one should be morally held for pulling a gacha unit. You aren't a hypocrite, you are a player. And this is what's crazy is, once again, nobody is saying this. Nobody has said this. Nobody is saying this. In fact, people have said the exact opposite. This is not about the gacha game for morality. This is about practicing what you preach as a human being. And I think this level of what I believe is willful ignorance is not a good sign of things to come. And I think this has happened a multitude of times now. And it worries me because even you still think that you're right about Honkai Star Rail doesn't have a power creep issue unless you're greedy and stupid. You said that you doubled down on that. You said that you stand by that. And it's been disproven by so many people. And I think it's okay to say I'm wrong. I think it's okay to say, you're right, guys, shouldn't have said that. I got lost in the sauce. The other claim that you make is that you don't play Honkai Star Rail as a content creator. You play Honkai Star Rail as a player. No, you don't. Okay? No, you don't. I understand the appeal to relatability that you're trying to make. You don't. Brother, you have 5 account managers. Okay? You don't. It's the same thing where you pretend like you don't give a fuck about St. Tontas, and then you fire an editor just because he made one thumbnail for him. It's okay to care. It's okay to admit that you're wrong. It's okay to admit that you're a hypocrite. Okay? It's fine. He believes in pro-consumerism, and customer is always right. But I don't. He caters to anti-Hoyo. I cater to people that happens to play Hoyo games, in this case HSR. It's just the way that it is. While I can see the difference in ideology doesn't make him my enemy, most people on the internet won't see that. Especially people that have their own agendas to push, viewers and CCs alike. Compared to being called a rapist or pedophile, being called a hypocrite pales in comparison, but it doesn't make it any less bad. Brother, if you're going to crash out being called Mr. Dookie, imagine if these people started calling you Mr. Rapist or Mr. Pedophile. It's not even remotely comparable. And you go on to say, because those are his views of me. Yes, the reason why those are my views of you aren't because I have a negative opinion of you. It's because I have an accurate opinion of you. That's the big difference. There is no malice that I have towards you. I've never had malice towards you. Besides, I'll be real, when you were neutral about me and the Atsu shit, that pissed me the fuck off, I ain't gonna lie. I was pretty pissed off, I'm not gonna lie. Okay? But you can't force me as a friend to say you aren't allowed to have accurate opinions of me based on my actions. You cannot say that. Okay? It's a very unhealthy dynamic. It's not okay. It just should not be said. I would never have those views of him. Yes, Mr. Pokey. And the reason why you wouldn't have those views of me is because I have shown you proof that I am not that way, that are rooted in reality, and I don't get emotional over them. I say, here's everything that I can't show the public. It's very simple. I still hold my ground against the people that have these moral compasses in gacha games, but it's unfortunate that it's against tech as well. I don't know who you're referring to, but I don't know anybody making that argument. I don't know who these people you think are who are saying the morality of gacha games. Like, I don't know. Like, chat, is anybody, do any of you guys know who is saying that? Like, no one is saying that. The only thing that anybody is saying is that you can pull for Casterus. But if you are saying that Casterus is bad and Casterus isn't good for the game, but I'm still pulling her, that's it. We're just saying practice what you preach. And the problem is that so many people have fallen into this false argument that maybe people were making out a point. Hey, maybe I'll take one. Did I say that? I don't think I said that. Like, I don't know if I said that. I really don't think I ever said that. Like, once again, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I said that on accident, but no one currently believes in arguing the morality and ethics of gacha games. Did somebody say that? I mentioned morality once, but it wasn't the main talking point. Okay, maybe you have an issue with Shinya? I didn't say that shit. If 95% of the community is misunderstanding your tweets for the past 5 months, not for the first time, this is not a misunderstanding, Lamau. It's the people reading it. It's not the people reading it. Yeah, it really is just like misunderstanding after misunderstanding after misunderstanding after misunderstanding. I think it's important to ask yourself, why am I constantly misunderstood? Now, I asked somebody to personally reach out to you, Mr. Pokey, and I'm hoping they're going to DM you today. But there are some people who are very concerned that I have once again gone back on my word and asked them to not make a video on you. People who you care about quite a bit. And I'm hoping they'll DM you because I have asked them to, because I don't want this to go any further. But to end your video saying, fuck all y'all, you're all hypocrites, it's no big deal, I forgive you if you'll apologize to me, but you all are wrong. I cannot believe that was the ending of the video. To have such an enormous ego, to say, you're all wrong, bend the knee, I will maybe forgive you if you apologize. I don't know how you've gotten to this point from this.
1.3 版本前瞻直播放出了单横隐约的实际演示，看着这背后庞大的数值以及高火的伤害，不禁让阿白思考，这才 1.3 版本，风铁就要开启数值膨胀的时代了吗？
Hey guys, Mr. Pokey here, back with another video. Welcome to another episode of CN Hype Watch. Where
I mean this genuinely. My favorite thing about you was how humble you were, how helpful you were, how nice you were. And what's great is, when I met you in real life, I saw all that. And trust me, I'm not going to cry here for pity points, but I do want to admit I'm getting pretty emotional. I am. Because you were so great to hang out with in real life. It was hilarious. Seeing how much of a pussy magnet you were in real life, that was hilarious. Guys, in case you guys don't know, women's pussies were dripping over this guy. I shit you not. It was hilarious. Like, it was so funny. The amount of VTubers that came up to me and been like, oh my God, is that Mr. Pokey in real life? Hilarious. It was so much fucking fun. You're a great looking dude. You are. But I don't know what happened along the way where it almost seems like you just had this ego eruption. And that's coming from me. That's me of all people, right? But I don't know why nobody else is fucking saying it. Well, St. Tontas probably said it, but I know you ain't gonna listen to that fucking dickhead. I know you ain't gonna listen to him, right? And I get it, right? I understand you hate that motherfucker. That guy's like your Obama. Bro, you'll stub your toe and you'll say, man, fuck St. Tontas. Man, it was his fault, man. Fuck that guy. Hell no, fuck him. And I get it, man. You can hate whoever the fuck you want. And I'll be real, man. Hey, if I was you, I would hate his ass too. Because bro watches your ass like a hawk. He says, Did you see that? Guys, you see this? Tweet number 273. Bro is a detective, and I am horrified if I ever have the curse of having to deal with the guard dog of the gacha community on my ass, right? Now, thankfully, I feel it. Thank God I don't have to endure Satan himself Enjoy that Satan Tontas. You're welcome. New nickname. Moving away from Fraud Tontas. I know you're reacting to this. But I get it. Now let's keep going forward here. He believes in consumerism and the customer is always right. Okay. Not really. But I think in this space, I think we'd all agree, consumers get fucked over hard. I don't want to say the customer is always right, but I would say I'm more like the corporations are always fucking wrong. You got to understand, there's a reason why I played such a big hand in the idea of Mythic Talent, a talent agency that finally says, fucking talent come first, corporations come second. Because corporations fuck over creators constantly. I want to remind everybody of me and another VTuber. We had the same CCV. We both had 3,000 CCV. I knew my shit. They didn't know their shit. I got paid $10,000 for the same deal that they only got paid $500 for. And by the way, that was a 2-year contract. So I made $250,000 by the time they made $6K. Sorry, $12K. Imagine that. Absolutely fuck that. You got to understand these corporations are here to lie, swindle, and fuck you over at any opportunity you can. Absolutely. You do not give these motherfuckers an inch. You see something going into your game that you don't see the eventual fix for? Hell nah. Hell nah. Absolutely not. Once again, pull for cashers if you want. I don't give a fuck. Hey, they're gotcha games after all, but just don't act like they're bad. Pull for it. Ask, why am I a hypocrite? And ask, why is the game so shit in a year when everybody was supporting these practices? You know how bad it was when people were pulling on Malvika and Sitlali. That shit broke records. And here's what's crazy. When the gotcha revenue comes out and Casters breaks a fucking banner record, you know for damn sure that's going to happen again. You know for damn sure. Let's keep going here. He caters to anti-Hoyo. Absolutely. Now, I will say that's not always the case. However, I think we can all agree for 2.5 years, I said Genshin good. For 2 years, I said Honkai Star Rail good. For nearly a year, I said Zenless good. And I heard there was a great Zenless developer talk that happened today. I heard it was great. But I don't have this fixation to just always attack at any point in time. Even to reference the 5.5 Genshin Impact dev live stream for Natlan, people were surprised how I was even more positive about it than Ziox, which is crazy. Now, let's continue on here. While I can see the difference in ideology, doesn't make him my enemy. Most people on the internet won't see that, especially people that have their own agendas to push viewers and CC alike. And I really appreciate that you put this here. I really appreciate this. Because I think you'd agree, and I think everybody in chat would agree. If EO were to have said the exact same shit that you said, I would have farmed that bitch for 3 months. If Gateo were to say that shit, if Atsu were to say that shit, if Envy were to say that shit, if Ziox were to say that shit, if Zajev were to say that shit, I would have farmed their ass for months and fuck this guy's a fucking retard. You know I would say that shit. That's not what I'm doing here. Now, I would like to also say, I did make another comment that was not my intention. What's crazy is I was making this comment about Braxophone. I apologized that shit to Brax, but I didn't apologize to you yet. I should have never said that if a creator's a hypocrite, they don't deserve an audience. I shouldn't have said that. I absolutely shouldn't have said that. Because at the end of the day, I say this shit all the time. I don't give what the fuck a content creator does or says. As long as they're playing the game that I like and they're entertaining, that's all I care about. That's it. As long as they're entertaining above everything. Yeah, no, Pokey, you absolutely deserve your audience. You want to know why I know you deserve your audience? Here's the sad reality, or here's the crushing reality that everybody needs to accept. Because everybody's trying to undersell. Well, okay, actually, we're doing a lot of wrong things to Mr. Pokey right now. I want to make this very clear. Mr. Pokey is not like Atsu. Mr. Pokey is not like Enviosity. Those comparisons are so fucking wrong, and you're retarded if you think that. Okay? Enviosity and Atsu ruined my fucking life. They came after me personally. They came after my marriage. They got me to the point where I wanted to end my own fucking life. The worst thing that Mr. Pokey has done caused a little bit of gotcha issues. And now a couple of relationship issues. And now I'm worried that his ego is getting a little bit too big. That's it. If you're going to sit there and you're going to compare him to Enviosity or Atsu, you're retarded. Straight up. Now, if you're going to say that Greedy and Stupid is the new mint picker, or is the new I should be the only motherfucker that should be praised, that's fine. Because what they're saying is this is the new meme that everybody's going to shit on. And to be honest, you're right. It is the fucking meme that everybody likes talking about, right? It's the new meme. It absolutely is. And the other thing for people saying, Techie made you. Tectone made this guy. Without this guy, Tectone would be nothing. Did I get him financial stability and help him become a full-time streamer? Yes, but here's the reality, guys. I helped a lot of streamers do this. And here's the thing. I can only do so much if the streamer does not help themselves. Mr. Pokey has earned all of his success. He has earned all of his money. He has earned all of his financial status because I can only do so much. I'll give you an example. I tried to do a lot for Leroux. Didn't work out. Okay? And that guy was my roommate. Okay? I did everything for them. But if you're not good, if you can't take the ball and run with it, it don't matter. Mr. Pokey is his own man. He earned his own chat. He earned his own viewership. He earned his own financial status. Every bit of success is his own. Did I help? Sure. Sure. I like to think that I help everybody. I like to think that I helped St. Totas. I like to think that I helped Kate. I like to think that I helped Ethan. I like to think that I helped Shinya. I like to think that I helped as many people as possible because that's what I like to do. You want to know why? Because I want to make this gotcha space somewhere that's not fucking miserable for once. And it's been fucking miserable for 4 fucking years. And it sucks. And so I thought, maybe if I help enough creators who don't suck be a part of this community, maybe we can have some semblance of solidarity. And we had it for a little bit. But unfortunately, and let's just all be real, Mr. Pokey has intentionally or not become the guy that everybody shits on. Now, I will be real. If Mr. Pokey did not have Twitter, he would be, and I mean this, the most loved person in the community. If he were to just not use Twitter, if he were to deactivate for a month, he would become the most loved, universally content creator in this whole space, and we all fucking know it. We all know it. You want to know why? Because that's what he was before he started tweeting. I would also like to give you an apology for recommending that you play Genshin Impact. I am so sorry. I really thought you were going to hate that shit, but Jesus Christ. Now that they see your ass as an ally, good God. I know the people who are in your chat who say, oh, Mr. Pokey loves Genshin, so great, now I can say Tectone's a pedophile. Jesus. Also, Brax, I don't know if you're here, Brax, I also apology to you. I got heated because I really don't like Casher's Global Passive, and I know your ass hate it too. I know your ass hate it too. Do you know how cool it was, Brax, when I saw you say, yeah, it's bad. Anyways, I'm going to pull it anyways because I want a bag. That was one of the most base things I've ever seen in my life. You say, this game headed in a horrible direction, but I got bills to pay. Is what it is. Now, while I do think you are far better than you give yourself credit for. I think you can make it in any game that you ever cover, and case in point, you know that's the truth. Your Final Fantasy guides have over 200,000 fucking views, but when you play it on stream, you get 80 viewers because you haven't got the fucking YouTube behind you yet, Brax. You can make it in any field because you are funny, you are charismatic, you are good at editing, you have great pacing, and I'll be real, you're a great looking dude. And you know you're a great looking dude because you make bitches crazy, and that's the goddamn truth. And I want to continue. I mean this on my soul when I was rewatching the clips off stream during my time at Austin and SDO with Tech, like meeting the first time, going to gym, hugging for... I hated reading this because this does really fucking suck. It does. It does suck. It does really fucking suck. I was pissed at Long Domo for making that video because it caught me upset because Mr. Pokey, you know, me and your community are never going to get along. Ever. Unless you become like an iron fist ruler for like a month, there's just no way. And I'm never going to ask my friend to perhaps even hurt themselves business-wise for the sanctity of the space. Get your bag, right? But you're going to have to wipe out these motherfuckers like Omni-Man. Going to gym, hugging for the ZZ Relic roll, I got emotional. Not because we can't talk about each other anymore in order to appease both our communities and the ideological differences, not because Tech was one of my first and closest CC friends and I vibe with him hard. Mr. Pokey, do you remember when you called me and I told you I was out to eat and you said, no, don't worry, I'll call you back if you're busy. And I say, nah, I'm good. I always got time for you. And then you told me about how you wanted to be full-time. And I said, hey man, we will make sure that shit happens. 3 months later, you quit your job, you got financially stable, and now you're still fucking killing it to the day. That's absolutely the fucking truth. Not because we can't talk about each other anymore to appease both our communities and the ideological differences, not because Tech was one of my first CC friends, I fight with him hard, but because I know something like this will never happen again. The next time, if it ever happens, his chat or my chat is probably going to go KMS ill dookie or KMS ill dictone. As much as I'd love to hang out again, we will never see the vibes being recreated unless our communities make a 180 change. There won't be a gotcha war, at least not between myself and Tech. It's just a sad conclusion to a story, one that no one could have prevented, as ourselves and our communities both stand for different things. The best part, instigators and drama CCs looking to farm this will spin the narrative to some even bigger bullshit to push their agendas and go ultra farm mode. Now, I don't know any CC that's currently doing that. I have only seen CCs either make it a meme or keep it pretty fucking neutral. I'll be real. I absolutely watched St. Tontas's video. He kept it pretty fucking neutral. I mean, he was giving you a lot of outs. And I don't know how it sounds when that guy talks to you, and I know everybody wants to say he's like seething hot fucking fire magma, but he was trying very hard to keep that shit neutral. I will admit I watched all of that shit because I will be real, I was watching that video to see if I fucked up. And I'll be real, you know who told me that I fucked up? And I appreciate the feedback, and I thank them for it. I said, thank you, I agree 100%. Shout outs, here we go. No one's gonna guess it. Motherfucking Genozad and motherfucking Gotcha Smack. Two people who I know will always keep it real with me because that's how I like my friends to talk to me. And when my friends tell me I fuck up, I'm like, I think about it and I say, damn, yeah, you're right. I should do something about that. I had a long conversation with John, Gotcha Smack, the other day. By the way, happy birthday, Smack. Happy birthday. And I had a conversation with Genozad as well. Praying, my future roommate. Praying. Oh my God, the shit I would do to the Gotcha scene if Genozad were to move in. Oh my God. We would make insane shit that you would not find anywhere. That is my next victim. Taking his ass to the water park, bro. Yes, sir. It'd be good. But I understand. Trust me, I get it. You guys got to understand the chip that Mr. Pokey has on his shoulder right now is enormous. It is. Mr. Pokey thinks he has been wronged. He thinks everybody's out to get him. I will say, kind of like EO. There is, I think, a fair comparison between EO and Mr. Pokey's situation to where they both think that they're being misunderstood. However, here's the big difference. EO's first language is English. Mr. Pokey's is not. That's the big issue. EO also threatened to leak personal shit. Mr. Pokey has never done that, and I appreciate that. Now let's keep going. I know we won't interact on content anymore, but this isn't content. This is an end of an era from POV. Tech, you were never my enemy. I never hated you as a person. I never will. And I would have moved to Austin for a few months after I settled my house. This is the best ending for everyone in the space because most people online aren't mature and CC farmers want to farm. Bittersweet. Mr. Pokey, I'm going to keep it a buck. Against everything in my brain that thinks logical, if you can legit process this and come to your own conclusion of this, dude, I would run it back. I would. I would genuinely run it back. But once again, the communities probably won't want that. The communities probably would not want that. Now, I'm going to make it very clear. You can look at my chat right now and see that they would want that. I don't think your chat would have the same reaction. I don't think your comments would have the same reaction. I think they would say, nah, fuck that bitch. He's manipulating you. He's abusing you. And to that, it's all right. But I want to let you know, you look at this reaction, go say the same shit on your stream and see how that goes. That's all I wanted to say. If communities won't let us interact, they won't let us interact. But I would be fucked up to not at least give you everything, not hold a single word back, and just let you know how it is. That's my opinion. I don't even want a message, right? I just want you to process that, take all the time you need, take a couple days. But I would like to say that message also didn't just come from me. It came from a couple other people who also aren't comfortable at speaking out against you because they fucking love you and they think the situation doesn't involve them, but they worry it might involve them one day. And that is all I wanted to say. However, you do your thing. I just wanted to let you know how I felt.